Hello and welcome back to the Sweet and Spicy Podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Cecily, and today is a new day. Thank God,
Thank
honestly,
God.
with the way it's been. Anywho,
I have
I
a final after we do this.
eh, I am going to cover Nobody Told Me Dragons Use Libraries. It is by Lindsey, Devin, and Roxie Ray, and that is one of those like writer groups where it's like a group of people under a name or something like
Ooh,
that.
I like those.
Um, it's very
Sometimes I
good.
like those a lot.
It popped out at me on Facebook, the algorithm, man, it's getting to me. Because I have like a whole bookshelf of books that I've bought and books that I have in lists, and then I see an ad and I'm like, oh, that seems interesting. Let me do that. So that's what happened here.
See, my algorithm has not been algorithming.
And probably don't interact
All
enough
I'm
with
getting is
stuff
like
like
the
I do.
AI ones.
Those are starting to
All I've
tick
been getting
me.
is like the weird AI ones.
Yeah, those are starting to tick me off for sure. But this one's called
Yeah.
Nobody Told Me Dragons Use Libraries. And then it says, is the tagline, and they prefer the Dewey Decimal System. So our story opens up with Arthur, who is a dragon whose father just died. His father was the leader of the dragons. The dragons are hidden from the humans. Um, they've worked with humans before in the past, but naturally humans. So they cut themselves off and were separate, but they are starting to go more into the earthly realm. For example, after his father died, his mother has opened up like a little bed and breakfast type place where humans and supernaturals alike come through, and she gets to chat and have coffee with all of them, and she loves it. It's adorable. So the scene opens with
Sounds really
Arthur
cute.
chilling with his mom. Arthur, you can tell, I mean, he's a dragon who has uh not really interacted with humans a lot, so he's kind of awkward because of that. But then he is also awkward a little bit because pretty certain he's got a little bit of the autism going on. Um,
Mm.
so he's very particular.
Who
He's
doesn't?
also right, but he's also not like a brutal, like beastly alpha. He's like more of an educated. Now, don't get me wrong, he can still fight you, but like, he's a learner, educated man. So he has a butler who's been with him since he was a child. His name is Caliban, and he's like figured out Arthur's tisms down to a T. So like,
Wait, his name's Caliban?
mm-hmm. I know I'm thinking of Halloween
That
Town.
reminds me of Calcifer.
Calabar. Oh, Calcifer.
No, Howl's Moving Castle
Okay. Well, I was thinking of
for
Calabar from
Calcifer.
Halloween Town, but generation.
Honestly, yeah, that works too.
So anywho's, he's kind of got him figured out, and it aggravates him because he was like, "You don't know everything about me, Caliban," and he's like, "Yes, sir. Your mood." And he was like, "Would you like this because of whatever?" It's very funny, very entertaining. So basically, he's been trying to figure out why the dragons are so weak, why they're not having babies, like something's going on with the dragons, and nobody's been able to figure out why. Because he's a researcher type guy, he has pinpointed it to like there's this time in history where there's a gap and they don't know what happened to the ancestor, what happened at that time. Something weird went down. So he finally makes a break in it to find this book that a human had helped was allowed to write, and it's about dragons, which naturally it's in the human world, and the human world thinks it's just, a weird ancient text about dragons, some kind of euphemism or something like that, not actually about
Storybook or
dragons.
something, yeah.
Um, so he finds it, looks it up, and
Which
sees that it is in. Oh,
I was just gonna
weird.
say, which those books would be really cool
Yeah, because they're
if
probably
they did
100%
end up
OG.
like being real.
They probably
That
are.
would be awesome. Because most of the time you get them in like novelty shops and gift shops and well, like Ripley's and stuff like that. So
No, this is legit, legit, legit. So it is in the rare books room at the library in Boston. And that's where we meet our female main character, who is Artemis. And she's a diagnosed autistic ADHD girly. Um, which really helps with her chosen career path because she's like a master librarian, like top tier librarian. She also reads and like knows multiple languages because she studies like older texts and she restores them. So like repairs them, the bindings with like original materials and stuff. She also like studies the writings. So like in a lot of old books, when people would look at them and try to interpret them, they would write in the margins. So she like reviews the margin notes and stuff like that. She's very like smart, investigative wise like that. Naturally, her people skills are kind of poop. The interns at the library are
Yeah.
terrified of her. Her boss always gets into it with her, and she's always, of course, very awkward. Um, it happens. But she's hilarious
Mhm.
and super smart. So he calls and she's like, yeah, that's in our, or he shows up at the library on a rainy night and they had just like mopped at the entrance and naturally she like falls and he catches her. Adorable. Because she's all like,
I love
dang.
little scenes like that.
She's like, dang, dude is hot. You know, she's like having a reaction that she's not normally used to having. So she's kind of like, whoa, dude. But anywho, she goes to
Mhm.
find the book to show it to him so he can look at it. But alas, the book is missing. Dun dun
Dun dun
dun.
dun.
So
I'm
naturally,
so sorry. I keep hitting my camera with my foot. I'm sorry, YouTube.
wow,
And now my dog is hitting it.
so rude. So she's flabbergasted because she's like, how is a book missing in my library? What is happening? Um, so she gets his like awkwardly gets his number and says, I'll give you a call if I find it. So she's searching around in the system. He was very impressed with her computer use skills, by the way, which I mean, it was very basic looking up a book, you know. He was fascinated by her computer skills, even though that was like not even like the max of it. Because that was also a funny bit
Does he
earlier
not
when
have the computer skills?
he doesn't have a computer yet. He does everything by hand. But what's hilarious is because they're integrating, when he was in his room earlier with all his books looking at stuff, he was trying to explain to that's how he found out the book was in Boston because Caliban pulled out his phone because he's like, you know, a several 100-year-old dragon, old man at this point, and he's like, says here it's at the Boston Library. Like, he's like, you found that on the internet, on the humans' internet? So it's hilarious.
Like,
There's lots of funny moments
yeah.
like that. So it's definitely a funny read. I completely forgot about trigger warnings. Um, which
I will say I love books that actually take into account the fact that these beings are very old. Have you ever tried to teach your older relatives how to use technology?
unfortunately many times
Now,
it's very stressful.
exactly, and it's frustrating and stressful, and they still don't get it.
In my line of work, we have an online portal for people to use. No,
Oh
I hate
no.
it. I hate my life.
Yeah,
Um,
I am known as Kit at work. I do not work in IT. They call me Kit at work because it's Kate IT.
yeah.
Because I'm the buffer for my team between IT and them. Because
So
we have to do authentications and all kinds of stuff. And they're like, what is this? I'm like, you've done it every day.
briefly, before I forget again, trigger warnings, combat, peril, kidnapping, grief, loss, emotionally complex father-son dynamic, anxiety, references, explicit sexual content between consenting adults. Um, I think that pretty much covers it. It's not too dark, it's not too bad. Not like it's bad at anything, but even dark's not bad. I'm
It's
just
not the
saying.
worst thing we could have forgotten. It's not the
Yeah,
worst thing we could have forgotten trigger
nothing's
warnings
gonna
on.
jump out you yet if you were waiting for that. So my bads. I'm apologetic.
Also, I think I don't know if you said this or not, maybe you did. Guys he's a dragon. It's
Yes, so
monster
there's
smut. I don't
monster
it's
smut.
monster smut.
I mean, it's not like my level of normal monster smut. But I did like this book and I would give it probably on a spice level, I think it's probably two-ish, 2.5. Um, Other
Yeah.
people might give it a 3, but I read a lot of depraved things, y'all. So forgive me, my rating system is skewed. Anyway, um, so we have the whole meet cute at the Rainy Library deal. It's adorable. Artemis starts searching for the book. Um, finds said book eventually, and then gets all nervous to call him and tell him that she found said book. What's funny though, just how Arthur has his old man handler, Artemis has a cute little apartment, and her next door neighbor is an older woman named Eloise, who was like an old school actress. She's very dramatic, and she's like adopted Artemis and takes care of her and everything. Um, and she's like, so what happened? Who did you meet? Like she can just tell the literal difference in how Artemis came home, that something was different about her.
Mhm.
Um, and
That's kind of funny.
it's hysterical because she's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "You've met someone that's all dramatic. Here's what's changing. Something is different." And I'm just like, she is the drama. Eloise is the drama. Which
And
I
so
mean,
that's her roommate or her best
it's
friend
her
or her
neighbor.
sister?
She has the apartment next door. It's
It's
like
her
two
neighbor.
cute little
Okay.
brick apartments, and they're neighbors, and you can like hear through the
Okay.
walls and stuff. And like she cooks her dinner and takes care of her because Artemis gets so caught up in her books. She's like
To
adopted
be
her.
to be completely honest, that is kind of us.
Eh, fair,
Where we're
fair.
like, hey, 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 what
Adopted.
what different? What different? Yeah, you did very quickly adopt me. You were like, hey, you friend now. Now family.
That's how it works sometimes. So,
It does. And
um,
it's a good thing. We vibed immediately.
obviously. So the next thing you know, she has found the book, and it was in an odd place. It was hidden. So she calls him up to tell him, where that she has the book. And he's like, "Oh, that's fantastic. You are absolutely amazing. I knew I could count on you." And she's all like, "Sir, my heart." Like, oh my gosh. She's like feeling things for this man from his words and his looks, but she also doesn't know what he's feeling because, alas, he is an awkward dragon. Um, well, her boss shows up and makes her do some other work, which is stupid. Her boss is kind of like a guy who takes all the credit, even though Artemis is like a freaking genius with her manuscripts and everything that she does. And we're talking like super rare books, like they have like controlled airspaces, and she's like literally recognizes when the system is having a failure because it sounds different. We're talking like intense tism happening with her. Um,
Okay.
so but it's great. And then and one of the funny parts is she's like critiquing the guy's margin comments because she's like, "That's not what that means, you pompous, whatever," and like talking out loud to herself. It's hilarious. Um so this van pulls up in the back alleyway, and he's like, "There's a book delivery out back, go get it." And she's like, "Seriously? You can't do that?" Because she's a female, he's a dude, he's not doing anything better.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Is this still you my employee? Are you the librarian under my employ?" Like he's just kind of a douche about it. Well, she goes back
He
there.
sounds like it.
She gets kidnapped because she was researching where the book was. So like immediately, like
They didn't like that very much.
this book is like supernatural Indiana Jones vibes going on. It's awesome. I'm I'm very very enjoyed this book because I love stuff like that. Childhood Cecily wanted to
Okay.
be an archaeologist.
Fully, we are tangenting for a second. Have you seen the thing where Indiana Jones, the movie, would have been the exact same outcome had Indiana Jones not been in it?
No, but don't ruin my life like that. And also, I don't count the new ones. I only count the OG trilogy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. No, don't tell me such
The
things.
booby trap still would have been set off. It still would have been taken. Yeah, you should look into it if you want a deep dive.
No,
You're
I
welcome.
do
I've kind
not.
of just been ruining a lot of things for you
You
recently.
really need to stop it. I don't appreciate it. It's very stressful.
I ruined Rainbow Fish. I ruined Giving tree. Here's the thing. I loved the rainbow fish. I loved the giving tree. I love them. I, uh, however, think that the message they were trying to get across did more damage to your generation and my generation, my young, like the younger version, the older versions of my generation, than it meant to. Because the books were read to us when we were very little. When you don't really have the know how to have the reading comprehension and analyze and analysis capabilities to realize, hey, giving away everything that you have until you're literally left with just like a single little bit of yourself
I want you to know I
is
had
not a good
to look
thing.
it up to verify, and he does. He only has one little scale left, and then everybody has a scale. And I'm just like, is this why my
I told
generation
you.
leans towards like socialism and things? Um, but that's like a political discussion.
That's the political thing. I'm thinking more of like in a you give and you give and you give and you have very little left for yourself. And in the end, that's not a good thing because if you don't have enough to keep giving and to repopulate, you can't do nothing.
Anywho,
You're
we're
welcome.
departing from the
Sorry,
line of
soapbox.
yeah, we are departing from the psychological evaluation that is occurring because this is recorded into the public space, and
I'm very
I am not
self-aware.
actually trying to go on a grippy sock vacation. I know it sounds like it sometimes, but I'm not. So,
Same.
continuing, uh, Artemis gets kidnapped. Oh, and I forgot the best part. Obviously I've mentioned this before. I think I had a dog named Artemis, and she let out the most
My
horrific
dog was
gas.
almost named Artemis.
She let out the most horrific gas all the time, so we called her Farty Artie. And apparently,
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Artemis in the book, her childhood nickname that she was bullied with was Farty Artie. So when she's like mad at herself in her internal dialogue, she calls herself Farty Artie.
Was it hard to not just think of your dog?
All I could think of was the dog the whole time, and I was like, oh my gosh. So just saying, just a fun little aside for you. Anywho, Farty Artie at this
My
point,
dog was almost named.
she is
That was
kidnapped
what my dog
up
was
in the
almost named.
van, the nondescript van that she walked towards, and was like, all her alarm bells were going off. That's what's really bad about this. All of her alarm bells were going off, and she was like, maybe I'm just being crazy because I have autism. And he's like, no, the books are back in here in the back of the van, drop off for the library. And he's like, come on. And then she gets in, and then he like ties her to a chair and all that. And he starts questioning her.
Did we not all get the stranger danger conversations
Some people did not.
growing up?
Some people did not. I remember I got it a lot, and we watched like videos in school of kids on milk cartons and watching videos of them getting kidnapped. It's no
See, they
wonder
tried to
I'm
show us milk
traumatized.
carton. They tried to show us the milk cartons and stuff, but I was on the side of a Cheerios box, so it caused issues for my mom because then I came home and said, "Was I missing?" Because I couldn't like fully read yet. It was like in kindergarten or first grade or something. I think it was kindergarten. We were still learning how to read. And so I couldn't read that it was actually just like a little thing that said that my grandmother had, it was because of my grandmother ate Cheerios because she wanted to see me graduate college and this and that. I didn't know that because I couldn't read and they were
It would have
kept
been
on the
even
really high
better if
shelf.
you had came home and been like, "Are you even my real mom?" That's what I would
So
have been.
the issue though, here's the issue though, because it's a running joke in my family that I was like kidnapped by aliens, right? Because I got a lot of weird stuff going on with me
My
that
dad
like
and I
none of my
always
other
joke
family has.
about being aliens. Like he was an alien, I'm an alien. You come from outer space.
Yeah. That's what the joke is that I was taken by aliens and replaced by an alien. So, cuz the joke is like I have light colored eyes. It's a recessive. I had like the weird dirty blonde hair. I had super blonde hair growing up and now I got the weird dirty blonde. You can't really tell here because it's like super dark in here. But Cecily can attest that I have like my
Honestly,
family
this
called it dishwater blonde.
this would track. I've never understood that because
Hmm.
dishwater is like funky gray. But anywho, this tracks
Yeah,
because if
they
I'm
called
an
it
alien,
dishwater
I like
blonde.
other aliens.
And okay, I am still kind of pissed about this though, because I've been told my entire life that I have dishwater blonde hair, okay? Now they're rebranding the dishwater blonde as like Hollywood blonde, natural Hollywood blonde, and it's like, huh? Like old Hollywood blonde or something. And it's like, you're telling me y'all had a name for this and you decided to just be mean? I've been told that my
I mean,
hair's
that
so
that
many
sounds
people too
about
tell me it's
like
like your
our
hair is
parents' generation. That tracks. Yes.
yeah. So many people though told me your hair's not really blonde. It's not really blonde. I'm sorry. If I pluck the hair off of my head, it is actually blonde. It's just dirty blonde. It's just I don't
Little
people are mean.
tangent. That was like a three
I'm
minute tangent
sorry.
from the last time I looked at the timer.
Sorry.
This is amazing. Anyway,
This is a
party are being
tangenting episode.
kidnapped in the back of the van. Dude's asking her all these questions about the book, and she's like, I'm a librarian. I was looking for the book because it wasn't where it was supposed to be. Like, she's trying to play it off. Meantime, Arthur shows up, immediately asks for Artemis of the librarian dude who's her boss, and he's like, oh, she's out back getting a delivery. And he's like, you have your female employee receiving a large shipment of books? Like, totally judges him for it. And I'm like, yeah, you get him, Arthur. Um, Anywho, he runs back
You,
there because his spidey senses are tingling, and he gets back there and he's like, oh my God, like tears the doors off, kicks guy's butt, saves her. She's like kind of freaked out, but not actually freaking out, which I totally relate to because, like, in the immediate part, you don't really freak out, like, you freak out later. I'm really bad about that. Something like catastrophic will happen in front of me, and I'll just be like, cool head, emergency, da 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 da. And then, like, 5 to 10 business days later, I'm losing my stuff. So that's probably some sort of
um
trauma response, but we shall not go into that.
fun fact, it's not, it's ADHD.
Oh, well, there you go. I've been diagnosed on that one.
I mean,
So
it is probably also some trauma too, but
there's probably other
typically people with ADHD can deal with catastrophic stuff way easier. And because your brain processes it faster and only processes the things that you need in that moment and not the stress. And then you figure out the stress later because then anxiety hits and you're like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah, that tracks.
So, you know,
Like my
fun.
whole life's been like that. Anyway,
Yep.
so she's like, let's get you that book. And he's like, are you sure you're okay? And then so like she takes him to the little rare books room, and like she washes her hands, and she's like, wash your hands, and he washes his hands thoroughly, and she's impressed because he like does it without complaining and does it the appropriate amount of time to wash his hands before handling the book. And like she just sees the care and respect he has for the book, and because she loves books, she's just like, mine heart. Which obviously is
Hmm.
saying, respect the books, people, respect the library. So, um, he's reading the book, and there's like the margin things and different things going on. He's fascinated, and basically this book then leads them to another book. And when they start looking for this book, this guy reaches out, and they're in contact with this guy, and they go to see him at like a storage facility. It's all like on the down low. And she's all like, this is kind of crazy, but it's also like the adventure she's always wanted. Um, so anywho, they go to meet this guy, they get attacked by more dragons. And he has to explain to her in that moment that he is a dragon. Cause she's been like, wait, what? Flabbergasted. So
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you I want to say that I would react to it very well, but I would still be like, oh my God, it's legit. Like, I'm very much like, I want Bigfoot, werewolves,
Yeah.
dragon. I want them to be
But
real. But I still feel like there would still be that element of, oh my God, if it were real, like proven to
Because you'd
me.
be like, holy, like
Yeah.
I knew it, but
Like,
also like, oh my God, I
if
knew
you
it.
are supernatural, hit us up. Just saying.
We won't
Just,
say anything, we promise.
yeah, we would keep it a secret. I would just be very excited about the secret. Legit. So, anywho, they're like attacked by these dragon. He fights off all this dragon. She ends up like popping out and helping him at one point, and she like sees him and she's like amazed because he's beautiful and a dragon, and she's just like, oh my gosh. So then they develop this whole plan where the next stop, the next book that they're looking for, that's part of this mystery, is in Scotlandburg. Scotlandburg. It's in Edinburgh, Scotland. I'll get it out.
I
Blah,
was
blah,
like,
blah.
Scotlandburg. What?
Scotlandburg.
I was like, they made up places too?
My apologies, Scotland. My brain is slow today. It's in Scotland. Uh, which shout out to
Is it
Scotland.
is
You're
it Edinburgh or is it Edinburgh?
Edinburgh, I think, if you're pronouncing it properly. I just, uh
Hold
I,
please. I
I'm
must
not
yell at my dog who has
I'm not
decided she needs
Scottish.
to.
Yes, Edinburgh is where they go. So, which is funny because she's like, oh my God, it's a grand adventure. And he's all like, I've always wanted to come here. I love it here. So they try to do, first they had to pit stop in Iceland because he decided we're going to go the old fashioned way and she's going to ride his dragon um, across the ocean to Scotland, which is high key amazing. Funny part, while they're flying, Homeboy, even though he's a little bit of an oddity, um, he is starting to realize, especially after the whole battle at the storage locker area, he feels a pull towards Artemis and is like, I believe she's my mate. And he realizes she can hear him in dragon form. So, like, when he talks through the mind, she actually can hear it. And he's like, oh my God. He's like freaking out. How do I tell her? I can't tell her right now. She'll think, "Da, da, da, da." I can't tell her right now. So, he's having his own little psychosis. However, when he flies her back to their apartment to get their stuff before going on this little adventure, um, it does mention a little part about how where she's sitting on his back and the way his wings flap, it like his body like vibrates there, and he could tell like she's getting a little, like she's shifting a little uncomfortably because the vibration is kind of, doing things to her. So he does kick it up a notch just to mess with her before he stops. And so thank you for the grim booty hole. Or is that tofu?
Skim. No, tofu is a lot bigger and a
It was
lot
just,
fluffier.
I'm gonna put like a sticker over that. It was just like stark white against all the void. Like, ma'am, put that away. This is
She
not that kind
said,
of
but
podcast. Hi, Grimps.
she has something to say. She's trying to sniff into the
I
microphone.
see that. No, precious.
We
Anywho,
don't have we've never had a Gim.
no, this is her first appearance on the podcast. So
This
you
is
have
my
been
cat Grim.
blessed and highly favored.
She's my gimme Gim. My little baby.
Which honestly, shout out to all you YouTube subscribers. I am a terrible social media person and I didn't realize how many like people we have watching us on YouTube, and like people have left comments on things, and like we actually have quite a
How many
decent,
people do we have?
like some of our episodes have like 30 and 50 something views, which is just way more than I anticipated.
Also, shout out to y'all who've been following on Spotify too. We've had like a big uptick in listeners on Spot. We've just had a big uptick in listeners. So thank you guys. I don't know what we did,
Beats me.
but thank you. Apparently the algorithm liked us.
We have been chosen. So anywho, yeah, shout out
Yeah,
to
we've been doing this show for like 3.5 seasons or 2.5, 3.5 seasons. We're in season 3, so
yeah. So anyway,
it's fun.
you're welcome for the grim. So,
Sweet.
she gets her stuff from her apartment and Eloise is like where are you going? What's happening? Da da da. And she's all like, you must go. Tell me all about it. And then like, be careful and all this other stuff. So they fly. They have to pit stop in Iceland because you can't just fly all the way to Scotland. That's like a lot. So they pit stop in Iceland, which is amazing. So she gets to see like the geothermal stuff that's going on over there. They get a little cabin. His magic allows him to call Caliban out of like thin air and like through a pocket travel dimension, stuff I can't explain properly. Anywho, he's like, here's your room, here's this, here's that. So they share like a bed in the cabin, which he sleeps on the couch, but like she actually like uh pleasures herself in the shower thinking about him because she's just like, oh my god. Um, like she's very into him, he's very into her. The chemistry is off the charts. Oh my gosh, it's a jinx. She looks confused.
She wanted uppies. She's not confused. She loves this.
it's the sideways turn of her head. So anywho, she is, doing that, and then they actually end up like trying to relax after eating and everything, and they like put a puzzle together. It's just so cute and nerdy. Um and he insists on sleeping on the couch, not in the bed with her. But then I think it's either there at the next place, like at one point she has like something, a nightmare or something, wake her up, so he ends up like sharing the bed with her, but not like they don't do anything, but they're there. He does. There is a point where they have an awkward conversation and he kind of says he's like not looking for a relationship right now. So then she's like, so is he trying to like hook up or what? Like what's the goal? What's the deal? I don't know what's happening. There's some of that awkwardness going on, but they finally make it to Scotland and it's cool. They walk around for a bit. They go to a pub and she makes fun of him and plays a joke on him about opening a tab at the pub, and the bartender's just kind of like, the heck. But it's adorable. Then they go to this like ancient like library in like a castle, and they find a secret room that has all these dragon things, and lo and behold, they get attacked by more dragons. And so he has a cousin who's like helps him cover council meetings when he doesn't go to them because he doesn't like dealing with the people. Um, you know, he's not about the peopling, which
Mm-hmm.
so valid. I am not about the peopling either. So, but his cousin, she is like kind of like, should you be telling everyone everything? Like him everything? Like this is just out. She like has a feeling because as an autistic person, she's very good at pattern recognition. And so she's like
Yeah.
noticing things. But that's his cousin. She doesn't want to be awkward. Anywho, they're attacked in that little library. She like gauges the patterns in the fighting style that they're doing, and they're able to get away and figure out where they got to go next. And there's coordinates to an island, and where they're actually headed for is Atlantis. The mystery goes to
That's cool.
Atlantis, which is freaking awesome because I am all about stuff with Atlantis. I am all about the weird stuff, y'all. Like if it's a conspiracy, if it's some kind of weird out there thought, I am about it. Um,
She really is.
I am. I love it. So they end up in Atlantis, and lo and behold, his freaking cousin shows up with a freaking army because he's trying to get there and figure it out and save the dragons and be the true leader over Arthur, which is messed up. And this whole time Arthur's having this whole crisis because his dad was always like a very brutal alpha and very like rough and tough and direct, and he always feels like he's a disappointment to him. And his mom's always like, your strengths are in a different area, Arthur, and that's okay. So anywho, a whole thing goes through a whole ordeal. They are in Atlantis. They like figure out how to get in, and then booby traps start being sprung. So the cousin starts losing dragons left and right because of the booby traps, and Artemis is like noticing the patterns, picking up on the signals. She basically like legit Indiana Jones her way through everything to figure it all out. Um
Mm-hmm.
and so like if you don't want any more spoilers, stop here. Uh
Hop off the boat.
Hop off the boat. It's been nice having you. Ta-ta for now. And if you want
Don't forget to
spoilers,
follow us.
freaking awesome. They're in Atlantis. She figures out all the booby traps. Like almost all the dragons die except for his cousin. And then they're in the final room and there's an entity there that's like chained and it like talks to you. And she figures out that basically his ancestor years and years back had made like a deal with him, and in exchange for the power that kept the dragon magic so strong, it was at the cost of the people. And when his ancestor, who he couldn't find information about, so like people, like they were brutal, people died, all kinds of horrible sacrifices and things. So his cousin, of course, is trying to re-up the sacrifices, like, let's do this, bring back the dragon power. Arthur's like, this is bad, which is what his missing ancestor information, that's what that guy did. He stopped the deal, tried to stop it, but because he didn't go all the way and go to Atlantis to the entity, it didn't work. Artemis figures out the entity does trades. So they did like a trade to stop from drowning because water was rushing in. And then she ended up doing a trade. Um, it was really funny because Arthur doesn't like it, but she trades him a phone because it's knowledge. So she trades knowledge for him to end the curse on the dragons and all of that good stuff. And which at one point, Arthur and Artemis had totally already hooked up, but then it was all awkward because of the whole she's still dwelling on the fact that he said he doesn't need a relationship. But finally, they get back. They're in his cave. That's where the entity put him, back in his dragon castle home, which is like huge and cavernous. And they like have a shower and, get all kinds of frisky. And it's like pretty good frisky for someone who's like not really about people and stuff. So that's why I say it's pretty good spice, especially because the tension throughout is top tier. Um, like that's my thing, is even if you don't deliver a ton of the spicy scenes, if the spicy tension is there, I'm all about it. I like it.
Yeah.
So it was really good from that perspective. So basically, they save the dragons. He tells her she's his mate. He's in love with her. Caliban and Eloise meet each other and start hooking up and being people together, which is hilarious. Um, and then so finally, this whole time, she has been trying so hard to finish her dissertation so she can become a doctor, and she's like over edits and overthinks it. Well, she finally finishes it. She also publishes a book. And so she's like officially a doctor, and then her book is like available in the library, and she's all like, eh. And the interns are all like, that's right, Dr. Ripley. And she's like, you said you weren't going to be weird about it. um, and then in the epilogue, Arthur takes her back to Scotland so they can explore and be all cute, and he proposes to her there, and it's adorable.
Oh,
And his mom loves
it's so
her.
cute.
It's so happy, and all the dragons are like finding mates and having babies, and the magic is back, and everything's hunky dory. It's good. It's a
See,
good
that
little
sounds
read.
wonderful.
It was. I got into a period of reading and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually really nice, because for a while I was in like that weird slump of all of these books are the same. Which part of that I
Yeah.
blame on the apps. Almost every app advertisement for a book, it's always about how crappily the guy treats the girl for her to get her revenge and everything. And I'm like, it's cool she gets revenge, but
Yeah.
do we have to go to this level of trauma and abuse? Because dang. So I needed some lighthearted, fluffy reading, and this was definitely a one that fit the bill for that. Um, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you do as well. Because and there's
It
also
was very
funny
sweet.
scenes. It's very funny. Like there's a lot of funny parts too, like the characters' dialogue. I don't know. It's so hard sometimes to walk a fine line between literally telling you exactly everything that goes on in the book and then also like hitting the
Yeah.
good parts. Um,
So, one of my favorite things though about books like that is like they come in every way, shape, and size, right? Obviously, you have to have some conflict to have a good book. It's the thing. But I like that there's such varying differences in conflict, and I like that it's changed so much because I remember when I first started reading, like werewolf books and things because it was Wattpad and it was AO3 and all this stuff. A lot of those were specifically like rogues attacking. This person is a rogue and the alpha's in love with the rogue. Or like you get sold off to somebody,
Yeah, exactly.
you know? And a lot of that was like, and then the main character was like this magical uh epic white wolf with magical rainbow powers and like overpowered person, right?
I mean, there's still a
Which is
lot.
fine for some books. There are still a lot of those.
Some of
And
them
I
have it,
like the
and it's
homage
really
there.
good. But
Yes. But others are like, she's also a unicorn and a dragon and also a phoenix. And you're like, uh, I'm sorry, but doesn't that kind of just make her a mutt? Like, isn't it like the classification if you're more than four things, you're like it's three or more, you're a mutt?
I have no idea.
Because I know hybrid, I know like
I'm pretty
obviously
certain I
purebred,
specify
hybrid,
that then.
tribred, and then like you don't get quadbred, you get mutt. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely would fall under mutt.
Right?
I got 3 different tribes:
Mochi, everybody.
German, white people.
I also fall under mutt. It's okay.
I mean, I think we all do as a people for the most part, but
Yeah. But anyway, we're not getting into that. I would just thought it was funny. But it is nice to get the monster or the romance books that are a little bit more we have a common enemy and less of a you're my enemy.
yes, there's so much of that, which is not bad, but sometimes I'm just like,
No.
I need something light and happy stat. So,
I do also appreciate when books start out as you're my enemy and then that the main characters realize either one really realize, "Oh my God, you're actually not my enemy. This other person
the
is.
enemy of my enemy
Why
is
am I fighting
me.
with you?"
Mm-hmm.
So,
So, it's
you can
definitely a good
kind of
one.
see Mochi still.
I would say definitely check it out if you're looking for a fun read and if you're into the autism ADHD representation. It's a moach on a shelf.
In case you needed to have him stare into your soul.
Yeah, he's got the creepy stare down pat.
He's so sweet, but his eyes are bug eyes. He has bug eyes. Me and my husband call him a Disney cat because he looks like an animated Disney cat because of his big old eyes and his like princely stares and movements. And he'll just give you kisses when you pet him. That's what he was doing earlier. But yeah, he's very good at just sitting in high places and just judgmentally staring. But it's
Good.
really not judgment, it's he has no brain cells. He just stare. The only thing he's got in his brain is love, and that's about it. He's not even oh, and wet food. He loves wet food. If he hears you in the kitchen doing anything that kind of even remotely could be wet food, he's in there chirping and yelling at you. Like, all right, hurry it up. Give it, give it. He's a big wet food fan. Back at the stairs.
I have an appointment tomorrow.
But anyway.
I got an alert
But
and I'm like,
anyway.
what's this?
Oh no. But yeah. Follow us
Instagram,
on Spotify, Instagram, on
YouTube,
YouTube, on TikTok,
TikTok.
on Amazon podcasts, wherever you listen, except for Apple. We're not on there.
Maybe one day.
At this point, I don't know if we ever will be.
Maybe not.
We'll see. But anyway, please, if you like us, give us a follow, give us a like. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the bell, so you get told when we post. If you're subscribed, please subscribe. You should subscribe. You get more mochi content. He's coming to say hello and thinks that you should subscribe. Anyway, happy reading, guys. Bye.